Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to finally be recording. Over the past few months, I have been trying to figure out ways of recording my screen, trying to use my camera, using all kinds of different things because I have a different computer than I used, I think like 2 or 3 years ago when I was doing my decluttering videos. That was totally different. So I finally figured out today how to get something recorded, and I'm sure this video is going to be horrific. So, but that's okay. That's okay because I'm just going to get better because I've been watching all the anti-MLMers, the favorite ones, of course, like Suarez and Flickinger. She's new. I love her already. Let's see, Bies, Julie Joe, Hannah, Alonzo, definitely fantastic, and of course Savannah Marie, Mac Attack. So those are all the ones that I watch, and I am not sure if I'll be able to tag anything down below because I am recording with a different software totally, and this one is the Cyberlink one, and Flickinger is the one who recommended it to me, and I really do like it, and I was trying others, but anyway, that's a long introduction. Let's forget that. Okay, so the anti-MLM. I recently, in November 22nd is when I quit Paparazzi. As you can see, here's the Let's Party Paparazzi sign, right? That's one of the pictures I took. That was when I went to Empower Me Pink before COVID. That was the January before COVID. But the purpose of this video, of course, it's going to be part paparazzi as well. I don't want it to be way long. But over the course of my whole entire adult life, since I was 16 or 17, I am now 57. I know it's a big number. You don't have to tell me. So now that I'm 57, I spent much of my adult life in and out of different MLMs because I thought it was normal. And I guess for the most part, a lot of us do. They are not normal. I finally figured that out, sort of, in 2014, 15, I think, around that time, 13, 14, when my son was in 4th and 5th grade. I ran into one of the moms, and I joined Mary Kay with her and stuff because I kind of missed it. And one of the first things I'll say about Mary Kay is I did Mary Kay 3 times. 3 times. The first experience I had, you know what, let's do this. I'm not going to try and do all my squirrel moments, even though I do have some. I wrote a list down of all of the MLMs that I have been in over the course of the past, 40 years. Let's just call it what it is, right? Because the last one was in 2021, which was Paparazzi. So after that, I am 1,000% done. I don't even think there is 1,000%, but I'm done. So I did write down all the MLMs that I have been involved with, like I just said. And the very, very first one that I really didn't consider an MLM, I don't know, I just didn't, was Avon. Avon was very popular way back when, of course, when it first started. But then when I was 16, 17, junior, senior in high school, I thought, you know what, this is really kind of fun. My girlfriend's doing it and, whatever. So they let you in before you were 18. You didn't have to be 18 to do Avon back then. So I did do Avon just a little bit in high school and sold some, and of course bought for myself because I was a sweet honesty fanatic way back when too. I still love the smell of it, but I don't buy it. I haven't bought it in years, and that makes me kind of sad, but I do love that fragrance. So then after Avon came Tupperware. And Tupperware actually was going pretty good. And that, again, was in the 80s after I graduated high school. So I was probably around 19, 20 when I was doing Tupperware. And I did pretty well. I didn't have anybody join my team. That's another whole story in itself with joining the team. But I didn't have anybody join my team just because I was going to beauty school at the time. I worked full time, and then I was doing Tupperware. So I had quite a few sales, and for whatever reason, well, Tupperware was sort of new, I guess, but for whatever reason, over the course of, I guess, the year, however long I was in Tupperware, my business was literally growing, and I was getting more and more customers. But at that time, everything got delivered to my house. There was no place else to deliver it. So then it was up to me to deliver, that's the word. It was up to me to deliver to, the hostesses or the hostess, whichever. And then the hostess takes care of it from there, and she delivers to all the people that showed up at her party or her book party, stuff like that. So I was actually getting quite a few sales, and I was climbing up in, back then we had meetings. So all of the Tupperware meetings that I went to And once a month they did special, oh, you sold the most this month, or who sold the most that month. So for a few months in a row, being brand new, I actually did get an award from the Tupperware leader of the team that I was a part of, and I was really surprised by that. But it was getting too big, and I wanted to do hair, which, well, today, whatever. I finally got this thing working, so I'm as is, and I hope this lip gloss looks okay too, because yeah, I'm a hot mess today. But I had to record this because, like I said, I've been trying so hard to get this to work, and I was almost in tears today because I just didn't understand how it took so long to work. Anyway, back to what I said, what I was doing. So then I kind of quit because I was married at the time to my high school sweetheart and stuff, and he was working full time as well. And so I wanted him to help me to deliver and whatnot, and that did not go well. He was not in the mood to do that. We were young, and so it was getting to be too much, and I thought, well, I'm just going to have to stop doing Tupperware because I can't do this myself. I really wanted him to help me, and who knows what would have happened since then. They're still in business, but so I quit Tupperware, and that was that. And then after that, right before we got married, I was 19 when I got married the first time. And so my first introduction to Mary Kay was literally at the bridal store. So I never heard of Mary Kay until then. And this lady, she was, of course, going to all the brides in there and saying can I do your makeup for you on your wedding day? We can do the bridesmaids and all this. And I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds fantastic. So she did. She came over on my wedding day, and me, the maid of honor, who was my sister, of course, and then the other bridesmaids, we all did our makeup, and it turned out really nice. She wasn't a very strong seller, though, unless I just didn't realize what was happening. So we did our makeup for my wedding, and everything was good. She left, and I'm not sure, I can't remember if I heard from her again or maybe once or twice, but I guess her whole thing was to try and get me to join Mary Kay with her and sell. And over the years, when I thought about that before I realized what MLMs were, I thought, my goodness, in 1984, if I would have joined Mary Kay with her, I could have probably had a really nice large team, had a nice group of women, and, all of that. So, and then I thought about, well, okay, fine, I didn't join, but whatever, right? But I went back and forth with that thought because I thought it was a normal thing for a person to do on the side, even if you worked full time. Then you would have all these customers and whatnot. I was never really big on the team thing. I really, in several of them, well, in Mary Kay, when I joined it the second time, I really wanted more to build a team, because the first time I joined, it was, oh gosh, I think it was the 80s. I can't remember, but anyway, the first time that I joined, it was with my sister, because she had a lady at work who she joined under, and her name was Helena Rigel. And she is now, she's a multimillionaire and stuff like that with the company, and national sales director, or whatever the elites they call them up there in Mary Kay. I can't remember because everybody has a different name, right? So she's way up there. And so we joined with her, and it was really fun. I'm trying to think of who else was the one I joined with. I'm going to have to come back to that. Let's just go over the 21 I joined. 21. That's what I said. 21. Okay, so I did Avon, Tupperware, Mary Kay, Pampered Chef, Party Light, Mona V. That's another story. That was 2003, and I was literally in the extreme beginning of the stages of an MLM. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm finally at the beginning. Maybe I can build a team and stuff like that, thinking of all the stuff that they tell you on the call. So I was on quite a few calls before the company even launched. And I thought, my goodness, how lucky. I finally got in on the ground floor of something. All right, that's to be continued. And then Shackley, of course, I did that. Who didn't? Melaleuca, that was twice. Mary Kay was 3 times, like I said. Paparazzi was once, and my last. And then I also did Isagenix. I wasn't selling it, I was using it. And I signed up as a consultant just so I could, of course, get the discount. Okay, we'll move on. And then Juice Plus, that was another one. That was definitely in the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, I think it was around early 2000s. That was Juice Plus and doTERRA and Young Living. Yes, I even became a part of doTERRA and Young Living. My house right now, I'm going to snap pictures. I think I did snap some pictures, but I didn't finish it the way I wanted to. My house is an MLM. I realized that recently, and walking around the house and just looking in my pantry, in my cabinets, my drawers where I can't even tell you, probably 150 bottles of essential oils between doTERRA and Young Living. Moving on. And I did do Scentsy. I actually re-signed up to that because I lost my consultantship because I wasn't selling or getting anybody to join. That was when we first moved to Texas. So now that's going to be 11 years ago in August. And I thought, oh, you know what? If I join something like this, I can meet moms. And my whole intent was to meet new people here in Texas. And I thought this would be really cool, at school. And we homeschooled a lot of the years, but we did do 4th and 5th grade here in Texas. We had a fantastic school. I loved it. But anyhow, my son loved it too, but we had a nice time. So anyway, that's why I did Scentsy. Well, it didn't work out that way at all. I spent a ton of money. I cannot tell you, we probably could have owned $1 million home by now. I wouldn't want to, don't want to clean it, too big, etc. If I ever had a really huge house, it would have to have a staff, but I'm not that kind of person anyway, so it wouldn't really do anything for me anyway. I'd rather have a nice small house that I can control as far as dust, cleaning, etc. Okay, so we will go on now to Scentsy. Yes, that's the one I did. And when I fell off when you don't do anything, then you fall off and then you're deactivated. And so to reactivate, which I did with another $195 order or whatever it was to reactivate, I did that. I have a lot of Scentsy sitting in my house of the warmers and different ones for the wall, the small ones, the big ones. I donated a bunch of them to our church so that with the mothers group, like the MOPS group, the mothers of preschoolers, we have one. We had one at our church, and they called it First Fridays. It was kind of like on the same lines, but it was just totally just personal. It wasn't with any of the like MOPS groups because that's all over the place. So it was just a personal one. And so I donated, I think probably around, I think it was 6 or 8 warmers so that when they do the raffle, when the moms first come in, they get a little raffle ticket. So I gave those away for that. And then Usborne Books. That was very recent too. That was probably 2017, 18. That was here in Texas as well. And I only did that because I thought, you know what? I love books. I have antique books. I love the old ones. I love the way they smell. I love libraries. Anything and everything about books, I absolutely love, especially the old ones with writing in them. I do have an old Germantown Bible, an old German Bible from 1761, and it's got writing in it. Oh my gosh, this thing is, I will never get rid of that. But anyhow, I love old books, and that's what the first thing I go for when I go to an antique store because I just love them. So Usborne Books, I thought, oh, you know what? I love books. I love kids. It'd be really easy to, just have a nice Usborne business and, sell books and whatnot. And I wasn't really keen on doing a team with that because that didn't matter to me. I thought, oh, I'm just going to do sales. Well, I got nothing. So I got deactivated in that. And all the books that I got in my kit, I gave to my grandchildren and a couple of other ladies, their grandchildren. So I literally only have a couple of books left that were actually used for homeschooling that most of the homeschooling moms use. Plum Print, that you probably never heard of, or maybe, I don't know, but that's totally brand new. So that was back in, we first moved to Texas. So I think that was probably 2012. I think I saw Plum Print. It was 2 moms who decided to take photographs, really good ones, of course, and make a nice giant book out of all of your children's art projects. Because we all know I have a hard time getting rid of things. I've got so many issues. I don't even want to start. But anyhow, if you could just see all the paparazzi I have around me, you would probably jump out of your skin. So anyhow, back to what I was saying. The Plum Print is the 2 moms. They started taking pictures and, making their own scrapbooks, kind of like using Shutterfly and stuff like that. They were doing that. And then, because I talked to the owners of the company when they first kind of launched, so they were probably open for maybe a year or 2 at that time. I don't know if they're open any longer than that, but anyway, it was brand new. So the the one of the moms I talked to her specifically because she was, like I said, a brand new company. So I signed up for that. I got my kit and I got the one that I wanted to send my stuff back to. I still have it. I haven't sent anything into the company yet to make my books, although I did take some pictures when I was decluttering some of the, the art projects, the ones that kind of fall apart where they wrap it shoe boxes in tinfoil and decorate it with glue and buttons and different pretty things. Well, I just took a picture of that and finally got rid of that. I think 3 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. I've held on to all this. My son is 19. Let's just get that out there too. He's 19. I literally have every scribble he's ever done when he was little, and I'm getting way off course here. So anyway, I didn't do anything with plum print, and I never even sent in my own stuff because I'm still gathering all of the artwork, and I think I pretty much have it all together. And I even have my artwork from grade school. That's another thing that I kind of wanted to get put into these books. I really wanted to sell them because it would be fun to do, and with these moms, and do craft fairs and stuff. That's what I was talking to the owner about. None of that came to fruition. Zurvita, that was the Zeal stuff. Zurvita, I only joined that not to sell it. That one I joined because my husband has diabetes, and a doctor that we met when we were on a mission trip in Mexico, he was really big on it, and he was giving it to his patients and stuff like that. So I signed up under him so that my husband could try it, and we did. We bought quite a bit of that, and that really didn't go anywhere either. After we started reading the back of it, we're like, it didn't work well with my husband's blood sugar regardless. So I still have Zurvita in the house, but we haven't finished it off yet. We only did a few things. And, this one's going to be funny. Okay, Prove It. Who hasn't been in Prove It? I tell you. That one, I was just a customer for a short period of time, and only because those ketones, okay, I'm trying to be healthy, holistic, or all these natural things. All of us moms always wanted to do that for our kids. We always want them to grow the best they can, have the most sleep they can have, and the best nutrition. So I've done that ever since our kids were born. And so the Prove It with the ketones, I thought, oh, good, this could be something for myself, right? And I trusted the lady highly who recommended it to me, that she was in it, and a couple things that I probably shouldn't have done. There's a machine called a Beamer machine, and I did that. She got her new machine with that, and we tried that, and it's supposed to do frequencies on you and all that with helping your blood circulation. So people with like the high blood pressure and all that, it kind of like helps to calm down the blood and do the circulation everywhere. And so I did that, and immediately, pretty much immediately, my legs, they still are kind of reddish in the front, and when I take a shower or even go out in the sun or whatever, they turn really red. So I think they got burned somehow by it, and she put it across in my waist and my stomach to do for the liver and stuff like that. And I'm afraid I did something to that, because the legs, she was trying to reverse it we were doing a blue light or something, or purple, whatever she was trying to do to kind of calm the skin down. That didn't work. So my legs are ruined in the front. I mean, I still look normal, but you could see the red spots, like I got gigantic sunburn. Okay, so the Prove It, I was drinking the ketones, and she explained to me how to do it, take half or do this. And so I did do that. And then the one day, this is when I stopped. So I was helping an elderly lady at our church make a quilt for her granddaughter who was graduating college. And so I drank my whole little thing of the ketones before I went there, and we were sitting at the table and putting our squares together. All of a sudden I got extremely nauseous, and then I started to get hot, and I could feel it in my ears. They were red. I could feel it. You can feel when your ears get hot and red. And then all of a sudden, literally where my liver, I thought I was going to go to the hospital, because the excruciating pain that I felt after drinking that Prove It drink, I was scared to death, honestly. And I told her, I said, oh my goodness, I have to run to the bathroom because I think I'm going to throw up. And obviously you don't want to throw up in this lady's quilt, right? So I went into the bathroom, and I just kind of sat there, and I put cold water on my face, and, kind of took a few sips of water, and just kind of sat there for a while on the edge of the bathtub, and, trying to calm down and whatnot, because the pain, I don't know, the pain was so sharp. That's the word. Very sharp, stinging, stabbing pains. That's what I was feeling in my liver midsection here. And then after I sat in there probably for about a good 15 minutes or so, the nauseousness kind of went away. The pain was still there, but it was very tolerable, like sore muscles till this day. So that was probably in 2018, 17, maybe even 16. In that area of time is when I did the Prove It. And since then, almost on a daily basis, my liver hurts. And I have gone to a liver specialist. We did all the ultrasounds and the scans and all that stuff. There's literally nothing wrong with my liver that is noticeable. My the blood work, when they did the blood work, nothing is wrong with my liver. The only thing that's wrong is fatty liver, because I'm heavy now. So that's my only problem. And I know that's a big problem. I won't even go there. But anyhow, yeah, I thought I was going to die with my liver, and I thought I was going to end up in the hospital. That's how bad the pain was. So, of course, I stopped Prove It immediately. And then years and years and years ago, when I lived up in Illinois, I grew up in Chicago, and we were living in Crystal Lake when we first got married and whatnot. So one of our neighbors, sweet gal, actually, she was just such a cutie, and she was a little Montessori teacher. I was doing the Mom and Me program with her at the Montessori school. Oh, I keep hitting my microphone. I hope I'm not messing this up. So anyhow, so she did Advocare, and I know that they don't exist anymore now. I think I really don't think they do, but I was like, oh, this is good, reading it and how healthy it is. Again, trying to be healthy. Just eating the right foods, eating your veggies, eating your fruits, even if they're frozen, stuff like that. Just eating regular food and exercise is the only way to go, and I have learned that over and over again. And following Weight Watchers still recommended by doctors, definitely still the best way to go, because they teach you how to eat. You eat real food, etc. Yeah, with the Isagenix. No. Oh, what was the one that we just did? No, Labri I did. And then, oh my goodness, what's the one right now with the, it'll come to me. Anyhow, I'll just finish. I'll keep going. So the Advocare, we did that, and it was just so expensive. Everything is so expensive out of all of these. When I did Shackley, I did want to build a team there. I'll go through the ones that I wanted to build a team with. But anyhow, so we had to stop using the Advocare because it was very expensive. And I wasn't going to build a team with that because I wanted it just to use, and we just couldn't afford it anymore. So I got rid of that, and I did do Longaberger baskets. I used to, that one I was trying to, to sell. All of these I was trying to sell to a point. There was just a couple, like I said earlier, that I wasn't trying to sell with or anything. It was just me personally joining for the discount. And so Longaberger, I wanted to sell that and do parties. So that one I was kind of really wanting to do because everybody loved Longaberger and they were worth, money and whatnot, because of how they did them by hand, etc. And, just made limited editions out of them and stuff like that. I don't know what I did with this microphone. Let's just do that. So I don't want it in my face either. So the Longaberger, I had the funniest basket purse. Oh my gosh, I love that thing. And that was, I love purses in general. So I'm definitely a purse person, or a purse hog, whatever you want to call it. And I love having different types of purses. So when there was a basket purse, of course I was on top of it. So I carried a basket purse for a very long time. And that, of course, started tons of conversations with people, but I loved the purse. I bought it purposely to have it as a purse. And then, of course, then, oh, would you like to sell? And of course, let me sign up, that kind of thing. And I did it again. But I actually didn't sell anything in Longaberger either. The one that I'm trying to think of that everyone, oh my gosh, was it the Isagenix? The Lean and Green. That's not Isagenix. Optavia. Okay, I forgot to write that one down. Optavia. I'm going to have to put that in my notes now because I'm going to cover that as well. I'm just going to keep babbling if I do that. So Optavia. Okay, the quick story with that, we're no longer doing that. But I have a lot of Optavia left too. Like I said, all of these that I have mentioned, I have except for Advocare. That one was gone a long time ago. Everything that I am listing to you right now, I have pieces of that in my house. A ton of it. So Optavia, Melaleuca, I don't know if I said that. Maybe I did. Let's keep going. Optavia. Okay, a lady at church who's my friend, she was heavy, of course, I'm heavy and etc. So she started to lose weight, and so did her husband. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck is she doing? So I was kind of watching her go down in weight, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do whatever she's doing. So I asked her, I said, what are you doing? How are you losing weight? How are you and your husband doing it? And she's like, she didn't tell me what she was doing at first, because they're trained. Some of the MLMs train you to not like Beachbody. I didn't join that, but I did get approached by a sweet, sweet little girl that I've known since she was little in church and grew up, and she's doing Beachbody, but I didn't know that until some of our conversations. I thought we were just chit-chatting, and we kind of weren't, I guess, but it was kind of nice to catch up with her anyway, because we haven't seen her in a few years. They moved out of state when they got married. So anyway, that's beside the point now. But anyhow, the Optavia. So I'm like, oh my gosh, tell me what you and your husband are doing. I want to know. I want to do whatever it is you're doing, because I'm at my wit's end with the weight. I'm hypothyroid, so that doesn't help me, but it's not an excuse. I've been trying my entire adult life to figure out how to eat to not gain weight, or even, like look at food and gain weight kind of a thing, and the insulin resistance and all that stuff. It's just a nightmare. So anyway, so she told me, she goes, oh, I'll show you what I'm doing. Just come on over and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went over to her house, and she showed me what she was doing, all of it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, I want to try this. And then she started to explain it to me more, and it's expensive. It was expensive, and you still have to buy your own food. Well, it didn't 100% click with me yet when I was doing that. And so I joined and I tried it. I tried it like many of us try all these new things out. And my Optavia in the first couple of weeks, it was difficult, because you have to eat all the packaged food. And then even my husband, all these years, he's been telling me, don't join that, don't join. I joined it anyway. Then, him not supporting, there's so many things I'm going to talk about, and that's another one. He did not support me. We'll get into that too. But anyhow, the Optavia, you can do the mean and green or the lean and green, however they do the meals, where you do your fuelings. You're eating. It's not a fueling. You're eating. Food is fuel, but they're just giving it a fancy name to make it sound fantastic, right? So I did the bars and the bag snacks, and everything, and the little biscuit. I'm trying to think of everything. All the food. We did buy something of all the food, okay? And some of it was horrendous. I just couldn't eat some of the food. The bars were okay. They were, like this big. Some of the bars were okay, but then again, it's still all processed food. And we're trying to get away from processed food, and have been, but it's anyhow. So anyway, with their food and trying the stuff that you warm up and all that, it none of it was really good. And then the portion you get, you're starving. And that's what the other ladies or the other anti-MLMers have shown when they've covered Optavia. You're starving, because you're only eating these little fuelings, and you got to keep track of the time, because every 3 hours you're supposed to eat something, and make sure you drink a lot of water, which I do anyway. So that's not a problem for me, the water, but trying to keep track of eating every 3 hours. I don't eat every 3 hours anyway. So trying to force myself to eat every 3 hours was really difficult. I missed most of the time, especially early in the morning. So from the morning until almost like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, anyhow, I couldn't follow that very well. So that was one thing. And then, making your dinner for, the meal, the one meal you're going to eat. Because I thought, well, I just want to do this as fast as possible, right? And I want to lose weight like my friend and her husband did. Well, my friend and her husband, they did their whole family. I don't know how they did that, but their 2 daughters were overweight. They're adults. They were teenagers. They weren't 18 yet. So the girls wanted to do it too. So they bought each set for each person in the house. So they were buying 4 sets of food per month. I can't even imagine. So they finally had to cut off their one daughter because she, went to college and she's not doing it anymore and she's half doing it. And of course, you still get your orders because you've got auto ship. Everything has auto ship, flex ship, ship. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So anyhow. So the Optavia does not taste good. I have a ton of that left. And I even have some boxes and things that are listed, not listed, but named Metafast because they were Metafast before. And I remember seeing Metafast and I wasn't about to do that. I had no idea they just changed their name. And when I learned that, when I was getting some Metafast stuff in my orders every month, I was like, why is this Metafast? I don't want that. And then I asked her, and well, Optavia, they changed the name or somebody else bought it or something. I can't remember. But anyhow, that name changed. I'm just looking at my notes here because I did forget that one. And in Labri, that is, so needless to say, I lost a few pounds here and there with it, but it was still very difficult. And so I was buying the Optavia and then plus buying food. So I was double spending on groceries, and our bill was just not phenomenal. It was, anyway, it was terrible. Let's go with that word. So then I stopped and I'm like, I can't do this anymore because for one, it's super expensive. And number two, I'm still having to buy food to eat. And this food tastes like crap. When I was 25, I was not heavy when I was 25, but I thought I was. So I did Nutrisystem. It reminded me of that. The Nutrisystem stuff way back when tasted disgusting. So I did do Nutrisystem, not very long. That didn't last long because it was that bad. So I only did that probably for like a month or two, and I was like, forget this. I'm wasting my good money on that as well. So I never did those again. I never did Jenny Craig or anything. The only one that really worked for me was Weight Watchers. And before we moved to Texas, I lost like 75 pounds, and that was in 2011. So when we moved down here, in the last 11 years, I've only lost, so I lost 13 pounds, I think, so far. But I gained 100. I gained 100 pounds. Oh, I don't even want to go there with that one. But so I'm on the backward slide again, trying to get that done. So now Labri, that's in Wisconsin. And I went to a Labri party with one of my friends. She was, selling it and stuff. And I tried the products and I really liked them. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to join this. And, we'll see if I sell, if I don't, whatever. But I do want to use it. And I wanted to help her out. A lot of these joining between my sister and I, her and I have joined each other back and forth in Mary Kay several times. My friends, some of them signed up for the Melaleuca. And I think those are the only ones that they actually signed up for because they were kind of done with me because I was doing all these years. I'm not having another party. Don't ask me to buy anything. And so, yeah, I'm lucky that they're all still friends with me. Let me just tell you that because I've done every MLM under the, not every, but many MLMs under the sun. Okay, so Labri is makeup and they're based in Wisconsin. Like I said, they're all aloe vera and they're all natural and oh, excuse me. They're really quite good. I love the product and I still have some that I'm using, and I think I'm almost out of that. I'm using them up. I don't want to throw it away because their makeup's expensive too because it's Labri, right? And Beauty Counter, did I write that down? Yeah, this list goes on and on. So maybe it's more than 21. So the Labri I used for a while and I signed up, but nothing came of that just because it was, like I said, just to use it. And I didn't even write down Beauty Counter, which is odd to me, but I signed up for Beauty Counter. That was another few years ago with one of my friends here. And her face started looking different and it was noticeable. And so she's like, oh yeah, I use Beauty Counter. And she signed up because she wanted to sell it. And so I went to her house to do a Beauty Counter party. And of course, they tell you everything that they've done. And it sounded fantastic. And I thought, I really want natural stuff because I don't wear a lot of makeup anymore. When I was young and I worked full time in the office back in, the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, dressing back then was totally different than the way you dress in an office now, unless you're a lawyer, that kind of thing, a real corporate person. I was mostly an administrative assistant. So it kind of got a little, I still had to wear skirts and stuff downtown in the lawyer's office. I'm more of a pants person. So I guess, later in the future, I was wearing more pants and whatnot, but I didn't have to dress super fancy anymore. And now as time goes on, people just go casual. When we got to wear jeans on Friday in an office, oh my gosh, of course that was fantastic. So beauty counter, I just unboxed it yesterday. Okay. I just unboxed my introduction kit. I actually have it all behind me. All the paperwork and the brochures. I don't know what the year is on there, but let's see. This is 2022, 21, 19, 18. Probably 2018 or 19 is when I went to the party, and I never opened it. Never opened it. I finally opened it yesterday because I had enough of looking at the box sitting on my bathroom counter, and I thought, well, I'm just going to use this stuff. And then I'm thinking, it was like $500, for the whole kit. I bought the whole thing, so it was like $500. And thinking of all of the money wasted, which maybe even another video. I have so many videos that I can make and will make because I'm finally able to kind of record here, which is kind of nice. So like I said, they're not going to be fancy at first. I got to learn how to edit. I can't even do that properly. So there we go. The Labri was just all the makeup and stuff like that. And then the beauty counter, again, that was the all natural. And I'm trying to think, there was something else that I tried, right? I don't know. Let's see. The Labri, Optivia, I said that already. Well, with the Isagenix, what I did, their shakes are pretty good, but you got to drink a couple shakes a day, right? So some of these, none of them are healthy. I don't care what it is, who it is, or whatever. So they're not healthy for eating because people don't live on liquid. Unless you specifically live on liquid because you're, so sick and, people with feeding tubes and stuff, that's a whole different ball game. Regular people who don't have any illnesses do not live on liquid. And if they do, they have other issues. So anyway, with Isagenix, to try and pay for some of the Isagenix, because I did that probably for about almost buying it, not completely doing the program. I probably bought probably about a year's worth. I was on that like for about a year, just having it keep coming, how that goes. So she said to me, the lady who I signed up with, she's like, well, what you can do to try and earn some of the money back is sign up your husband under you as a customer and then order his stuff on his account. So I did do that. I didn't think there was any problem with that. Now I know better again. So anyhow, I did that. So my husband and I were both getting it now. So that was double. And I didn't see a paycheck come back from it at all. I didn't get any money back. So I have no idea what you were supposed to spend or how you were supposed to do it. Anyway, nothing back, right? And let's see. I'm trying to think if there was really literally anything else I joined. But that is pretty much all I can think of. When I have a huge Mary Kay thing to go over as well, and I'm going to have to make that a whole other video because I could sit here and talk to you probably for a good, 48 hours straight if I could stay awake that long. I'm not even joking about that. So in a lot of the notes that I have too, let's see here. Oh, you know what? I should have mentioned, I will mention this. So I'm trying to get my husband to do like a little perspective, but he's really kind of not interested because all these years. So in every MLM that I was a part of, there's weekly meetings, which I hated. They always wanted you to bring a guest, which I hated because you know how hard it is to bring people. And they tell you, years ago to get involved, like with Mary Kay, I want you to be a model for me and stuff like that. And it's like, okay. So that was, I think, how I got into it the second time. I want to say, I think that was the second time that I did it. Let's see, when I worked at Ameritech, that could have been first or second. Maybe I did it more than 3 times. But the last time was the clincher. And I've got a lot of stuff on that. The Mary Kay, my friend and I, we did everything that we were supposed to do. And that will be a whole other video because that's when I kind of came to the conclusion because I was all in. I bought $5,000 worth of Mary Kay. I went with a gigantic package because, of course, the recruiting person, I'm all in, right? And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I love Mary Kay. Getting a box when it comes to you, it smells amazing when you open the box. And going to visit the Mary Kay museum and stuff, I've done that a couple of times as well. It smells amazing in there too. but it turned out to be a huge disappointment. And actually, when I figured out that I was the customer and everybody's friendships were fake to me, I was in tears, honestly. It was horrible. And then how do I tell my husband, I got $5,000 worth of Mary Kay sitting here, that I can't do this anymore. I can't do it because of what happened. So I was on and off crying for probably almost 2 weeks, on a daily basis, on and off. So I got the nerve to tell him that I wasn't going to do this anymore. And of course, well, I was crying while I was telling him. So maybe it could have been a little more, he could have been more aggravated if I wasn't so upset. So I told him I'm going to do the buyback program. That's another thing. Got totally cheated on that one. The hoops I went through with that. But when I figured out they weren't my friends for real, and it was just all conditional, lies, using God, because it's God first, family second, career third. That's the Mary Kay motto. I did go to a couple of conventions also of Mary Kay in the 90s. So that probably was the second time that I joined, was in the 90s. And I came to Dallas and I was like, ooh, this is so much fun. And I'm not saying I didn't learn anything from the convention the first time, because I was just like, all starstruck kind of a thing. And then when I went the next time, it was okay. It changed quite a bit, but it was still okay. But it still cost a lot of money. Okay, we'll move on. So where was I going with that? Oh, with the Mary Kay. So with my husband, then I said I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do the buyback program and do all that. And then I have a ton of notes that I saved because our national sales director here in Texas, she ran special classes and all the stuff that you had to pay for, $200 for, I don't know, it was a few weeks or whatever, to come specifically to her house to get personal training from her. And then at the end of the month, we got to learn how to do the end of the month with her. And after a few months of that, things were just snowballing in my head and my friend's head. We're like, this isn't right. So she quit before I did, but I finally did it because I was going to stick with it. But anyhow, I couldn't. Then that's when I said, I am never going to do another MLM again. If anybody comes near me, I'm going to put a BB in their face. Not really. So anyway, then with Paparazzi, that came about, let's see, I joined in 2019, 2018, because I did it for like 3.5 years. And then, like I said, November 22nd was the day that I finally stopped, because the fear of not continuing, it's real. The fear of not continuing, I'll never have access to this again, and blah, 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 6 months, a year, never again, right? So I finally did it. I was watching some more of Savannah Marie, and that's when I learned about, in November, I think it was, August, I take that back. Savannah Marie. She's fantastic. So anyway, I started watching her when I first signed up for Paparazzi. And I was one of those people who said, oh my gosh, my MLM is different. It's not like that. This is the best compensation plan I ever saw, and blah, blah, blah. And at the time, I believed that 100%, because nobody gives you 45%, right? Mary Kay does 50%. However, you pay the 50% and then you can sell it for double because you do a 50% markup. That does not work at all, because nobody wants to pay full price, right? So you can run your own sales, do whatever you want. You can make up any price you want with Mary Kay. They don't care. They got their money. Again, when I figured that out, it devastated me. My Mary Kay experience for that third time was very devastating to me. So anyway, so then I was watching Savannah Marie over the few years and whatnot. And then I joined Paparazzi, like I said, and then that's when I really started watching her more often. And I was like, how could they not see that these businesses are fantastic? You can grow a team. You can earn so much money. You can have the house you want and all this other, selling the dream. We all know. And then when Paparazzi I didn't get to go to convention. Okay, let's do this. I'll tell you this really quickly too, because it looks like I'm already talking for 45 minutes and I've got a ton of stuff to do and I don't want you sitting here for 6 hours. But anyhow, I'm just going to say this really quick and then make more videos. with Paparazzi, when I joined, my girlfriend had a lot of cute jewelry, and she said, "Oh, it's just cheap jewelry and whatever." But I'm from the 80s, and we had all of I wear real earrings now. These were my mom's. So I just kind of wear gold mostly. But if I go out, I like to wear like the Paparazzi jewelry. It's not all pretty, but a lot of it is. Like I said, not everything is perfect in it, but the earrings and things, I love those kind of earrings. I used to wear giant earrings. I'm thinking of a man when I used to work at Jewel as a cashier up in Chicago. This one person came through, and it was kind of like a chalky, see-through, shale-ish type of earrings. They were my sister's, and I borrowed them for work, but they were giant pink, like shell, round circles, and they were pink and really pretty, and they were huge, right? But they were so pretty. This customer went through, and he just kind of looked at me, and I was just checking out his groceries, and I didn't really think nothing of it, and we're chit-chatting, and he said, if it was a windy day, you'd beat yourself to death with those earrings. Oh my gosh, I burst out laughing because he was a guy. What are you going to say, right? I burst out laughing because that was so funny to me, because I could just imagine the wind blowing and beating me up in the face. Okay, that was totally funny. So I like all kinds of earrings, and like I said, from the 80s, and we had all kinds of little zigzags and all kinds of stuff. So a lot of the Paparazzi jewelry, my girlfriend was shopping. I didn't know she was shopping there. She's like, yeah, I do these online things, and I have a couple ladies that I watch their live shows, and that's where I get my jewelry. I'm like, oh, because we have similar taste. So I was like, oh my gosh, I love this stuff. So she's like, here, I'm going to do a party. So if you just want to attend the party, because she was being a hostess. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I attended the online party, and as this jewelry was being shown, it was stuff I really liked and wore and wear and will wear again, because I have some personal stuff, right? So I bought $75 worth of jewelry that night, and I had to stop myself because I just saw I love earrings. Earrings are my thing, okay? So I bought a ton of earrings because they were just I loved them. And then I thought, this jewelry, because seeing all the people that were purchasing, the jewelry was selling itself, right? And I was like, it's $5. That's no big deal. But if I can sell a lot of it, and I was like, no, I said no more MLMs. No. And I attended like I said, I was still on the party and just watching everybody else still buying when I cut my limit off at $75. Just watching everybody buying it, and she was just showing the cutest stuff, okay? So I thought, well, let's see, I thought about it for a few days, mulled it over, and I was like, you know what? I can do this because I really love the product, and it's $5. Tons of people are going to want to buy it. I can probably have a really nice team before Christmas, because I signed up on June 28th, and I did my first live a couple of weeks later after I got my kit and went through it and stuff. I did it in July, and my first party, I sold almost 50 pieces, and I'm like, okay, now we're on to something, right? So the team that I was on was teaching us, or saying that we can survive on sales, SOS. They were going to teach us SOS. And I was like, all right, because if people want to join, they can join. And if they don't, they don't have to. It'd be fun to build a team, but I really just want to sell the jewelry. I just want to, have, I don't know, maybe $1,000 a month or just something fun, just so I can keep buying the jewelry, because it's very, very addicting. Sometimes I bought 3 times in one day. Yeah, very addicting. Because there's always something new, right? FOMO, fear of missing out. So I couldn't let that happen. So I signed up, and I bought the biggest package, the $500 package, and I was getting to the convention with this. So the Mary Kay conventions, I went to a couple, but I didn't get to go to any of Paparazzi's conventions, but I did go where it says here, let's party Paparazzi. I got to go to the Empower Me Pink, okay? That's another one. But you get a free voucher ticket in the $500 kit to go to conference for free. Okay. So I wanted that too, but I thought, well, if I'm going to go all in, I need to buy the biggest package. So that's why I bought the $500 one, to have the most jewelry possible. So that year I couldn't sign up because it was the end of June, and their convention was in August, the beginning of August, end of July that year. it was all sold out, so I couldn't go. They said, hang on to it, but you can go next year then. We'll honor it next year. Okay, next year was COVID. So it got canceled, but they did a virtual one that year, which was, as I was looking at it, it's just all about us buying, selling, and they're showing us all the new stuff. And so you really didn't learn much. They had each of their, team members come on stage and, give you this rah-rah advice and all, how this works. So all of that. And so I watched it online, made sure that I could do it every day, that they had it going. All right. Then I couldn't go the next year. Well, because I was kind of, kind of like thinking, I don't know if this is going to work, because right here behind me is, this is a nice wall. And then I'll have to show you this room. I have a video that I took of this room, and it's not a room. It's like a she shed, those tiny houses or whatever you want to call it. But we bought me a she shed, and it's 14 by 40 long, 14 wide. So it's 14 feet by 40 feet long. And it was on sale. So we were going to buy me a she shed anyway, because I wanted one. And it would just be fun to have. We live in unincorporated part of Texas here, and we could do whatever we want back here. So I thought, I'm going to have a jewelry store. I'm going to sell the paparazzi, but you can only sell paparazzi. So I couldn't sell some of my friends who make jewelry so pretty. I couldn't mix it because I didn't want to get in trouble and all that stuff, right? Because that's another thing, just being in trouble with them. So, and then I wanted to sell handmade soaps, and I love doing a lot of things. I love to do art. I love to paint. I like to make soap. I like to sew. I like to quilt. I like to embroider. I like to cross stitch. I love all the crafty stuff. Love it, right? So, we got me a she shed. And so the walls are pink because, paparazzi was pink. But I still like it. I'm not upset with the pink because it's not the paparazzi pink. It's a much more pale one. And then we did the ceiling really pretty in a more contemporary type of grayish, how the contemporary grays. People were going more neutral. And, nice lights in here and everything. I have air conditioning. I have heating. The only thing is there's no bathroom, but it's literally next to my house. So I just go in the house to go to the bathroom or get water or snacks and whatever. So this whole place is filled with paparazzi. I have thousands of pieces. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I was going to sell it all for $5 at the regular price because I thought, well, I just kind of want my money back. And I thought, well, then after all of that, let a nickel-free thing happen and everything. And I was like, well, I just want my money back if I can do that. So I was thinking, I'm just going to sell it all at $3 each because it's $2.75, and then plus whatever tax that we had to pay tax on it up front too. So I thought, well, that's fine with me. I don't care. And then the special Z collection stuff. I have the first year that I was in there, when I bought the Z collection from the first year, I bought 3 boxes and I spent over $1,000 on 3 sets or 3. How many come in the Z collection? Is it 1 of each, or I think it's 1 of each, 3 of each necklace in the set. That's what it was. Or no, 1 of each. Anyhow, so I bought $1,000 worth of the Z collection. And then the next year I only bought 1 box of it. So that was like $400 or something like that. I don't know. So I have 4 gigantic boxes of the Z collection. Well, when my Z collection came, my one cousin, she wanted to buy the turquoise necklaces, and it was a really pretty one. It really was. It was very pretty, and all 3 of them were broken. All 3 of them. So we paid $16.75 per piece. That's our wholesale price, and we have to sell them at $25. You can't sell for less, and you can't sell for more. That's how paparazzi works. So I fixed the one because that was the least broken, because I felt really bad. I was like, oh, she really wanted this necklace and stuff. And they give you a jewelry kit anyway to fix things. So I did. I fixed it, and it was fine. The other 2 I couldn't fix because the strings that all of the turquoise beads were on fell off. I wasn't putting that back together again. So I'm thinking, well, maybe if I make my own jewelry or find somebody who wants to make jewelry, they can buy all my pieces for the $16.75 that I paid for it. They can have all hundreds of the beads and whatever that fell off of those, right? But I do have quite a bit of the Z collection here as well. I forgot where I was going with that, but it doesn't matter because I'm on here for almost an hour now, and I do want to cut it off because, like I said, I don't want you guys to sit here for the whole thing, forever. forever. So I think that's probably where I'll end it. But what I was saying about Savannah Marie, yeah, because I left notes on hers too. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're so different, right? No, not different at all. So then she recommended Mac Attack. And he was new, up and coming. And that was when she went on, and the whole paparazzi convention this year, the people that died, that's what got me. I had no idea that people died. I just couldn't afford to go because I didn't have the money to go, and I was not making money. That's another one too. This year alone, we had to do our taxes for this year. I was minus $14,700 negative after buying all my supplies, my web page, everything to, like go to different fairs and trade shows and stuff like that, gas, and then buying envelopes and having stamps.com and all this stuff. And then I had a logo made because I was really all in. Like I said, I even did an LLC. I just did it in January of 2021. And I was kind of like, oh, should I or shouldn't I? And I thought, well, no, this is going to be a legitimate business, right? And I thought, well, I'm going to have other things in here besides just the paparazzi jewelry. Well, then I found out then you can't have anything but the paparazzi jewelry. Doesn't matter what it is. You can't sell nothing with the jewelry. Anyhow, so then a few months later, I canceled the LLC. Because that's when I watched Savannah's thing about the convention. And I was like, oh my gosh, these people died that went there. That's very sad. And they should have never had it, right? And I was looking for recognition of these people on the paparazzi site and stuff, how fast they deleted them, like what she was explaining. And then I went to look myself. They didn't mention one whisper about these people that died, and some of them lost both parents with children. So there were some orphaned children in this. And I thought, you know what? Then there was the real struggle of, I can't ethically be with this company because they totally burst my, I guess, respect for them or whatever you want to say. I couldn't do it. And I was having the hardest time trying to decide whether or not to get out. And then after the convention, when it started up in August, when she did her first thing on it, and then I was watching more of it. And like I said, going on the website, not even an acknowledgement of these people. I was talking to my husband and I'm like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I can't sell this jewelry because the owners of the company are fake, I guess is the best way to put it. So finally, on November 22nd, I pulled the plug on it. Like I said, I really mulled it over for several months because I was so afraid of not being able to get more jewelry and whatnot. And then I watched Emily Jones. She was a paparazzi person several years ago. So I like to look for a lot of things on YouTube. So I found her accidentally just by seeing all the anti-MLM stuff. And she went to Nihao Jewelry, and I can't remember the other one. There was 2 other places, but the Nihao Jewelry is a wholesaler. And some of it is literally the same jewelry. So although they said that, oh, we design all our pieces, we keep up with it, and Misty designs it all, and baloney. Exact pieces that I even have and that she had are on Nihao Jewelry for 50 cents. We're paying $2.75, selling for $5. We're the middleman. Like CC Suarez and all of them say, we're the middleman. We sure are. Anyhow, so I did. I stopped. And then, like I said, she mentioned Mac Attack. And I'm like, oh, I want to go see what he's got. He has a video on numbers. It was fantastic. And that's when my eyeballs really opened, because you don't keep track of what you're spending and stuff because you really don't want to see it. And my husband asked me for years, keep track of everything, do our taxes. And I'm like, but I don't want to, it's too much work and whatever. Because I thought I was making money when I would sell something. Not on a bad day or good day. Not even on a good day. Yeah, not making anything. So the one he has on numbers showing that some people were working for like a penny an hour or something, or a penny a day. He did a really nice little chart of all this. I almost had a cow after I saw that. And between the 2 of them, well, Savannah I've been watching, like I said, she was the only MLM person that I watched from the very beginning when she first started. And I don't know, I liked her. Even though I didn't agree with anything she said, now I couldn't agree more. And then watching Mac Attack's thing, like I said, with the numbers, that was it. And then morally, with the lead and nickel free stuff, lying to all these people. And some people did have little reactions to it, and I couldn't understand why, because it's lead and nickel free. Oh my gosh, I couldn't understand it. So we all know now it's not lead and nickel free. So I guess that's the end of all of that, and it's going to be going on 60 minutes now. So I don't know how to edit this with this software I have, so I apologize for that. And it's way too late to tell you to, you can skip ahead on certain parts or whatever, but I'm just going to upload it as it is. And I'll learn how to put an intro and an outro and, learn some stuff. But for now, I don't know how to do all of that with this software. So I was going to show you just 2 more things, I guess. Yeah, an hour. Okay, so this Let's Party, this was that I attended, the Empower Me Pink, because if you do convention, then, no, if you go to Empower Me Pink, then you are able to buy this special set and whatever. So I wanted to go because I wanted to see what it was like, because I was all in, right? I even fell down the stairs there. Oh my gosh. The way they had the stadium. Anyhow, yeah, I fell down the stairs and okay, it was funny because the people, when they were sitting, I was trying to find a place to sit. There was no place to sit, right? So I kind of was walking down to try and find a seat a little bit closer to the stage, but not on top of it. I just wanted to be in the middle. So as I was walking down the stairs like they have at all of these big arenas, I lost my footing because it was dark in there. All the lights were off and all you could see were some of the stage lights, and that was the glow you got, right? So when I tripped and fell, I just went flying down the stairs and I landed on this lady. I smacked her so hard in the back of the head. She's like, oh! I know that's mean, but it was too funny. And then I'm laughing and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to end up in the hospital here. Because again, I'm heavy and got heavier even after that. But again, I lost 13 pounds so far. So we're again, doctor's care going backwards again for the hopefully last time. So anyway, so this Empower Me Pink, that's what this was for. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. So who did I see there? Okay, because I was following everybody I could. I was learning everything I could from YouTube, from Facebook Lives, watching all these other higher up people. So I'm going to lower this. And here we go. Trent Kirby's brother. This is Taylor Kirby. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know who that guy is because I watch his videos and I think he's fantastic. He's really mean to people though. And I was like, that's kind of funny that his customers don't mind or whatever. But I was like, I don't care. I was like, oh, can I take a picture with you and whatnot? And so I did. And I was like so happy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually got to see him in person. I didn't know he was the brother. I didn't know he was related in any way because we were told they weren't related. He just happened to have the last name Kirby. I don't know why that was told to me, but it was. And then little Misty, I saw her there and she smiled for the camera. What was interesting, I was like, oh yeah, I want to take a picture with her too because that's so cool. And I tried to talk to her a little bit. Nothing. Her smile, because she takes so many pictures with people and stuff, her smile is just plastered on her face like, a model that and stuff like that. So she wasn't talkative. There was a lot of people there, of course, that wanted to talk with her and take pictures. I was lucky to get this picture, and even some of it's blurry because somebody did it really fast. But they took 2 pictures, and I don't know, maybe this one's better. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So yeah, this one's less. Yeah, this one's not blurry. So there we go. So I kept this one because I have a whole paparazzi directory and all of that. And I was taking all kinds of pictures of the different. I'll do a video on this. I'll do this separately. Here's where I was doing all my practicing, trying to learn how to do using the OBS Studio, DaVinci Resolve, which is an editing one. I got Cyberlink, and that's actually what I finally ended up being able to record on in this funky way. So this is what worked today. Like I said, I was just going with it. And so these are all, and I deleted a lot of pictures because I was so upset. I didn't think I was going to do any videos on anything. And I was like, no, I I talk to everybody's videos as I'm sitting here watching all of them, because some of the reaction videos, I watch all that too. And there's so much I have to say, and I do say it out loud to the computer. So I guess that's what I would like to say too is I have, if you want to share, I need stuff, I guess, because I want to do some reactions to different things and look up things for myself. So I don't have it on here because I haven't figured out how to do it yet. So I'll just tell you what my Gmail email is. That is squirrelymom7. So SQUIRRELY7, the number, at gmail.com. So if you want to share anything on the Google Drive or a link or however that's done, just send it to me. And I am on Instagram, but I believe it's my name at Ann Vogue or, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. I will. Oh yeah, I was looking at some paparazzi stuff here too. So let's do the Instagram really quick, just so I can get it and see. Sorry about that. Instagram. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, let me see what my thingy is because I don't remember. Oh, here we go. This is what I am. Aw, that's my sister's dog. That's little Chico. She just posted this. Oh, he's sleeping so cute. Oh my gosh, I love that dog. Anyway, if you want to send anything to me in here at Anne Marie Vogue, that's just the way it is. That's not my whole name, but that's all I put in there. So it's this, ANNEMARIEVOEG. So if there's anything you want to direct message me with, it's fine because I don't have a lot in my direct messages anyway, so it's not crowded at all. So if there's anything you want me to react to, and even like these horror stories that people talk about, I've got a ton of them with all of these that I've joined myself, but I'll just tell my horror stories here. Buddy, no. Okay, I guess I'm glad we ended. He sees a tree swishing past the windows in here, and he's blind in one eye, so he can't see that well. So I'm going to end it here because he thinks he sees something out there that doesn't belong. Go outside, buddy. Go check it out. Go on, sweetheart. So anyway, so yeah, this is me on Instagram. So this is my name. Oh my gosh, little Chico. There we go. So that's me. And I did do pink hair, my dog Chad. So yeah, there's quite a bit here. But if you want to direct message me in here, please do. I guess on that note, I'm going to end because I need to figure the rest of this out. And like I said, I got more videos to make. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you made it to the end of this because I babbled, but I don't know how to edit this, like I said. So thank you so much for watching. Please share, subscribe, like, anything. But I am now into the whole anti-MLM thing, and I have a lot to share. So I will see you all soon, and I'm going to try and record another video today while I'm at it on one of these and get the ball rolling. I don't know how often I'll put things up, but I would love to do one a day, and I don't know if that's unrealistic. Some people do it twice a week. I don't know. So I'm going to do the best I can with getting these things up. So thank you so much. Have a fantastic day, and I will see y'all soon. All righty. Bye-bye.